Hi. Life has been kind of crazy, so it's been a while for me to actually taken me a while to finish this. But I just finished the next 100 pages of this book. And okay, one thing I have to say about Stephen King is he loves his $50 words. And by that, like my English teacher talked about how like there are like 50-cent words and there are like $5 words and then you got like your $50 words like, and I just feel like a lot of times he'll have this great passage and it'll be really descriptive. And then all of a sudden, like, he'll just throw in, like, weird words. Like, there's this one word, "quart," which I totally thought it was squirt at first, which would have been a really awkward sentence, but it's "quirt." And I was like, I don't know what that word is. And I would say I have a reasonable vocabulary, but, you know, sometimes there was one word, palaver. Who uses that word? Palaver. And he uses it a lot. And I actually had to look it up. And according to Google, it is a prolonged and idle discussion. I truly feel like this book should be renamed Palaver. It's not a terrible book, but it's not great. Um, so let's get into this. So they finally get out of the desert, finally, and they end up in the mountains. And I just feel like this is like seriously a vehicle for just talking about Roland's or the Gunslinger's childhood. Um, so essentially, we learned that Roland has a hawk named David when he was younger, and apparently he's like the son of like the leader of Gilead, which is like the, I guess, city he's living in or something. Anyway, his dad's a gunslinger. His mom lives in separate chambers, which seems very, I don't know, Ottoman Empire-ish. I don't know. Anyway, so he has his hawk, and they do cool hawking things or falconry essentially. Anyway, he's got this like big douchebag of a teacher named Court. And anyway, so after this incident with one of his friends, I can't remember his name, they apparently his friend's not supposed to eat, but he's like, I know we're gonna go to Hacks. He's this cook who loves us all and will give us money or whatever. Not money. Money. What's wrong with me? It's late. It's 12:34. So give us food. So of course they go and they eat, and while they're there, they overhear Hacks, who's this like kind of nice fatherly type character. Anyway, he is conspiring with someone to poison everyone with bad meat. So of course Roland tells his dad, and Hacks is hung, and Roland gets to see. And I found he was like really not wanting to tell his dad. Then he tells his dad. He's really happy he tells his dad. Then he doesn't want to see the guy get hung. Then he's really happy he saw the guy get hung. I mean, I was just like, it's just very bipolar, I feel. Maybe not bipolar. That's the wrong term. Inconsistent in terms of emotion. So, very waffling, one might say. So anyway, so after that, so now we go back to the boy, Jake, and Roland. And I gotta say, like, Stephen King has great chapter openings. Like, they're just, like, for instance, I just typed this one out because I was like, oh, which is, the boy found the oracle and it almost destroyed him. And I was like, that is a good opening sentence, kind of like the first. Because now we're actually, like, into the next section of the book. Anyway, so they are in this kind of jungly area on the foothills of the mountains, and Roland can tell something's weird, and Jake wanders off. But during his like wandering off time or something, Roland has this weird dream about the woman that he loved. I guess it's maybe a flashback of the woman that he loved being burned at the stake, and then you have like her image is replaced with the image of Jake, and it's this like really intense, like, ah, she's dying. So, okay. Anyway, so he finds Jake, and he is essentially being controlled by this succubus. So, anyway, I did not know what a succubus was for a long time. I mean, I know what it is, but I mean, I don't know. I was maybe high school. I knew what an incubus was because of the band, but it was only a little later. I was like, oh, there's a woman version. Anyway, and so he takes Jake back to their campsite and gives him the jawbone that he took from the basement of where they got the canned goods and the evil thing. Anyway, and says, hold this jawbone and you'll be safe. I don't understand the significance of the jawbone. That might have been in the book. I missed it. But gives him the jawbone and then goes to find the succubus to essentially learn what his role is or his future or something. And I will say that was like a page-turning scene. It was like, oh my gosh. He essentially does it with this bizarre, like, wind creature. I can't, oh, where was it? But I have to say, even then, Stephen King uses weird vocabulary. Oh yeah, he takes this drug beforehand, kind of like LSD. Anyway, where is it? I mean, like, it's this super intense scene, and oh yeah, he's talking to the succubus or whatever. Where is it? I can't. I feel like it's. Oh, here we go. Yeah, I mean, it's like. So as he's like sort of having sex with the succubus, like she's giving him images, or he's having images of like all these women that he slept with, particularly Susan, who is his love. But like a sigh, a faint sound of weeping, and then Stephen King decides to just throw in the gunslinger's genitals felt drawn and hard. Okay, that word just like takes you out of it. Like genitals, like no. That's very, I mean, that's not a really great vocabulary word, but it definitely takes you out of the moment. Kind of like Stephanie Myers when Twilight uses the word musculature like multiple times, which is weird. And Anne Rice is obsessed with the word evanescent. Everything is evanescent. Anyway, but I was genitals. I was like, "Meh." And then yeah, I mean, it's just, he's doing it with this succubus or whatever. But he does find out that the boy will lead him to something, and then it's like three. Three is the number of your fate. Yes, 3 is mystic. 3 stands at the heart of your quest. Another number comes later. What's the numbers in this book? I mean, we've got the number 19 that talks about death and what happens after that. And then you have number 3. And anyway, apparently the boy doesn't really have a future, apparently. But he leads him to the dude, Martin. He goes, may he not be spared. So he's like trying to spare Jake, and he's like, look, if you want to go seek vengeance or do whatever you're supposed to be doing, that journey you're on, like, the kid's gonna have to die. And so anyway, and then he's like, have your way with me, bitch. It's like, whoa. And then anyway, yeah, he it was a little steamy, I gotta say. Anyway, then you find out later, essentially, the jawbone works. Jake is fine. I don't even know what's going on with the jawbone. And then, apparently in this world there's no word for invisible. They're called, like, no men or non-men. I can't remember, but Jake's like, you mean invisible? I don't understand what's going on with that either. Anyway, so then there's another flashback, or Roland's telling Jake how he became a man. Anyway, essentially, Roland sees his mom and Martin. And I actually had to read it twice, because part of me was like, okay, is Martin being, like, controlling and, like, I don't know, like, attacking his mom? Or was she in cahoots? and I can't tell. I mean, first time around, I thought Martin was just being a creepy whatever. But then the second time around, I was like, well, maybe she actually had like a thing with Martin. It's unclear at this point in time. Anyway, at least according to what I've gleaned from this. Anyway, so Roland decides that he's going to become a man or a gunslinger. He's like, yes, I'm going to become a gunslinger. And I don't know why. I even looked up a summary to be like, I'm confused about what's going on here. And they just said, like, because of this, he felt compelled or forced to declare his manhood. So there he did. So he challenged Court, his teacher, to a duel with any weapon of choice. So he chooses his hawk. And apparently in this thing, you're only allowed to challenge once. And if you win, you are able to become a gunslinger. And if you lose, you are going to exile. So it's like an all or nothing deal. So he takes David, his hawk, which is a weird name for a bird. I kind of want to like get a dog and name him like Steven. Or, I don't know. What's another like really normal? Michael. You know, so it's like, who's your dog? Oh, this is Michael, my dog. So David the bird. And, or like David the turtle. I feel like that would be a cute name for a turtle. Anyway, he takes David and he sicks David on Court in the duel. Court has like a rod or something that he beats kids with. Anyway, the bird like flies at Court and like picks out his eyes. And then, he, of course, like smashing him, and he has like 2 broken wings, and you know, it's like, oh, sad bird. I mean, I felt terrible for the bird. I feel like Stephen King has it out for animals. I mean, you got the mule who like dies of exhaustion, and his eyes get pecked out by a lot of pecking of eyes, and then gets pecked out by that weird redheaded dude's crow, and then you have David who's pecking out the eyes of Court. Court breaks his wings, and then at one point, Roland throws the bird in between the 2 of them, and the bird kind of finishes off like the sight or something. Don't know what to do with my hair right now. And anyways, David dies this like horrible, sad death, and of course Roland, I'm sure, has to bury him later. I honestly like the end 200 is where Roland has won. He is now going to be a gunslinger. He's not going to be exiled, and I have no idea what's going to happen next. And there's only 500 pages, or not 500, oh gosh. There's only 50 pages left in this book. And I heard from some people that someone commented on, because the first video was posted on another channel, so I've switched it. So someone said that I should just go into the movie blank, or like as ignorant as possible. Which I mean, I guess I could do. He said, but the nature of the whole series, you don't need to actually read all the books ahead of time, which is great, because if this is a testament to Stephen King's writing, I don't know if I can do it. I mean, he's not bad, but he's not great. Maybe I'm just spoiled, because I really like Steinbeck. Yeah, so I'm going to finish it off and give my review for the very end of the book, and then I'm probably going to do the first 100 pages of a couple other books. So anyway, I hope you have a lovely evening, and yeah, till next time. Bye.